So residency reflection week 9. Doesn't feel like it's been 9 weeks. It's crazy. And this week was a roller coaster to say the very least. Monday was good, saw a decent number of patients. I wasn't super happy. I was trying to get one more than I saw last week, and I saw the same number. But I didn't have to stay late, so I was happy with that. I kind of been trying to increase my productivity while also making sure that I don't stay late to finish things up. We're supposed to be trying to get out of there sometime between 4:30 and 5, so I've been happy that I haven't been staying late to finish notes, but I'm still trying to kind of increase that productivity. Had a conversation with my mentor about it just because I kind of plateaued and I need to figure out a different strategy. Tuesday was mock patient day in the lab, so that was super fun. Got to talk to our residency director afterwards about what I think my research project might be. It's still kind of in its very infant stages, and just kind of still trying to get it figured out a little bit before I talk about it on here. And let's see, Wednesday was a little rough. So Wednesday, I had a mentor patient, had a ton of stuff I had to do like outside of treating patients. I had to meet with our SCI task force team member to discuss kind of their SCI protocol here at this hospital, and then we had a department meeting. And so this weekend is opening weekend of deer season up in upstate New York for regular firearm season. And for me, opening day, me being a small town redneck that I am, is kind of a holiday tradition. And I was really going to try and go home as long as it was going to, comply with quarantine rules and everything. And they ended up changing the quarantine rules this past week. So I had emailed the health department to clarify and see if I could or couldn't go. And ended up, with the new rules that they had come out with this past week, I wasn't going to be able to go. And I got that email like right before the department meeting, so I kind of had a little bit of a breakdown, if I'm being honest. After lunch, I kind of just had to go in the bathroom and take a second and just kind of gather myself, because it's the first opening day I've missed ever, and it hit me really hard. And that's something I knew was a risk going into the residency, was that I would miss out on certain things back home and I wouldn't be able to do things. And in this case, it didn't happen to be because of the residency. It happened to be because of COVID. But it was still very frustrating and hard to handle. Had a good mentor patient that day. I got to learn a lot from him. I thought I had a good session. My conversation on kind of increasing the productivity went well. But just from like an outside of residency standpoint, I was feeling pretty bummed out. So got home, called my parents because I was just not feeling great. Got some Chick-fil-A, that helped a little bit, Chick-fil-A and some ice cream. And then Thursday, went back into the clinic, was feeling good, kind of had regathered myself, and had a patient with multiple strokes in the past couple weeks. And their most recent was in the temporal parietal area, and they had global aphasia, which was really interesting. It was the first time I'd ever seen a patient with global aphasia, and it was so much fun. It was super cool. They had very little physical deficits. Most of their deficits were cognitive and vision related, and then kind of this global aphasia with a left motor inattention, which was really, it was just so cool and fascinating to me, just like how they responded to things, kind of how the interaction throughout the session was, and I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. So that kind of picked my week back up, and I was feeling really good. I had a super awesome discussion with my mentor about it, and it definitely made me more interested in trying to see more patients with that particular condition, and kind of just understanding the anatomy behind it and how the systems work, and how all of the different brain systems between the visual and the attention systems and the perceptual systems all play into each other, and how they're all intercorrelated was just super cool. My mentor sent me a paper afterwards kind of on that unilateral neglect and kind of the different subtypes. That's going to be the research article for this upcoming week. And it was just super awesome to see a patient like that and be able to think through it and work through it, and then to be able to read that paper afterwards and kind of retroactively see how what I was doing and kind of facilitating throughout the session was working, because I'd never seen it, and I had only learned about it in school and was kind of just going based off of that and kind of based on what I thought would work. So that was super awesome. I was dumbfounded after the session with how much fun I had with it. It was so cool. And then Friday we had a review session that my co-resident and I were responsible for, and that went well. And then today, so I'm filming this on Saturday, today we had to have an open lab for the students, so that was fun. It's always fun to kind of go back and review with them and see what they've learned and kind of see what maybe they're still a little confused about. So overall, good week. Definitely a roller coaster finding out I wasn't going to be able to go home for this weekend or Thanksgiving or anything, but that's okay. I'm here for a purpose, and just kind of learning more about myself, and that maybe I'm not going to end up in a city afterwards, and finding that I don't necessarily enjoy living in a city. DC is great. I like that there are things to go do, and it's a very interesting city, but I'm just not a city person. I'm a country kid, and but at the same time absolutely loving the residency and every aspect of it. So that definitely makes up for it for me, and kind of outweighs some of the few things that I am going to have to miss and not be a part of, just because I'm in the city and there's all these travel restrictions with COVID and stuff. So that's this week's residency reflection. Definitely a roller coaster, and every week's a little bit of a roller coaster, but this week more so than others. I was happy with myself, how I was able to kind of bounce back from the rough Wednesday of kind of finding out I wasn't going to be able to go home, but then bounce back and have a strong day in the clinic on Thursday. So that's this week's residency reflection. Thanks for watching.